What was your profession, and did you enjoy it?
My profession?
Yeah. What'd you do to make a living?
I farmed and I ranched, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed being outdoors, out in the country, and working with cattle. And one of the things I liked about farming is when we plow, I like the smell of the turned over earth. And that always made me feel good. I enjoyed working with cattle. I like cattle. I like to see the newborn calves. I like to sell the yearlings, see if we could get a little money. Wasn't real profitable, but was enjoyable.
So you had a feedlot at one time, right?
Yes, I had a feedlot, fed cattle, and I enjoyed that too. I like to watch them eat. They always seemed to come up to the trough and go to eat, and when I'd feed them, and I enjoyed watching them eat. Enjoyed watching them getting big, getting fatter. Enjoyed eating on them too.
So did you put together your own feedlot and feed mill?
I did, for a large part of it. I had a lump boy help me figure some of it out on the engineering part of it. But I put most of it together myself. I already had an old hay grinder, so I incorporated that in. Put up some grain bins and an elevator. I had a hard time getting that elevator down in the pit, and it was about 24 foot, maybe 26 feet long. My brother Dan was an engineer. He said I couldn't stand it up with that old Ford tractor, but I did it anyway. So we had some guy lines on it, hooked to it, so it wouldn't go on over and fall over on the other side. But I used to buy cattle out of Fort Worth, Texas, buy calves. They were called number 2 Okies. I think they were a crossbreed between a Hereford and some other breed, but they were short, good calves. They fed out really good. I raised those up. I grew them out, got them up to about 700 pounds or 800, and I'd sell them to somebody that had a feedlot to finish them on out. I did finish out a few head. I used to, when they were ready to butcher, to slaughter, I'd load them up in a truck and haul them over to Herseth Packing Company over at Phoenix. I had an old had an old Ford truck that I hauled them on. Later on, I got a 20-foot semi that I hauled them on that too. Hauled them from here to Phoenix. One day I was going down through Tempe with a truckload, and I think these were some cows that I'd fed out. And I noticed everybody, every time I was going down through the town, there were people that stop and look and point, and trying to figure out what they were pointing at. Got over to the packing company, and one of the boards in the trailer one on the floor had broken, and an old cow had her leg down through there. And they were all pointing and looking at that and laughing about it. But we got her out and unloaded. We used to raise a lot of silage. Had a silage pit up there. That little 4-acre piece above Boyd's house. We put up a bunch of silage that we raised. And fed that to the cattle on mix up silage and grind up hay and cracked milo maize, mixed up with a little molasses. They seemed to do pretty good on that. I had a nutritionist from the University of Arizona figure out a ration, a growing ration. And they did pretty well. Did pretty good for a few years. Finally, the margin between cattle I was selling, cattle I was buying got too close together. Couldn't make it anymore. So I finally shut down. I guess that's a sad tale of, I've still got some monuments over there. Monuments to the cattle feeder, grain bins, and so on and so forth.